Occultists Anonymous and our Into the West Mage Chronicle out in ye olde, well, probably not technically ye olde, but the Wild West of Colorado.
Ye old Wild West.
Sponsored by our patrons. Adele, Alice, Aiden, Al, Alexander, Ulsrit, Bernie, Buck, Chris, Doc, Emil, Ethan, Jeff, George, I am the Real 06, James, John, Camo, Cat, Feathers, Klaus, Live, Love, Lesbian,
What?
Milo V3, Boku, Mozart D minor, Nick, Other Guy, Perry, Foog, Polka Dot Hubris, Porter, Puppeteer, Riafio, Sean, Shaksara, Starfish, Taryn, Thomas, Verhex, Vincent, Vortex Falcon, and Zoltan. Thank you all so much for your support. It means a lot to us. When we last left the gang, we had a little time skip, just jumping forward a couple months as things settled into a kind of flow. Everybody was doing various investigations, taking care of their mundane lives, researching their personal obsessions, things like that. And we jump back in, and we gotta start things off with a couple rolls.
Yes,
because one of the important things that we had left off was Helena and Jules had begun to really dig into what this code means, and this is a complex thing to try and figure out because you're working with clues with zero context other than it's somehow tied to this plantation. No idea. And so
the basics of cryptography.
Exactly. Actually,
that's what makes it fun.
We're going to use ciphers, which is not a skill listed on anybody's character sheet.
But
they're
temporary use items. Use them once, you can get them back. Also, if you
wrong system, nice try though.
Yep.
I appreciated watching Chris's face there. I was like, what? Yes, ciphers, which in our system is what computers is listed as. So if Helena has anything there, Jules is going to apply his skill in ciphers, which is not
I do not, because I didn't think computer was a skill I needed.
If you want to make some quick adjustments, because let's be honest, we haven't done all too many skill rolls with Helena.
Yeah, I would take one out of investigation and put it in that then, because that's what I was. That's why I had 3 dots in investigation, was to try to like figure things.
Yep.
So I'll move one.
Cool. So no -3.
Yeah.
Always good. All right. And I think it's appropriate that Jules is technically helping you, but we can flip that if Helena will be like, no, you're better at this than me, I'll help you, depending on how you want to do that.
I mean, he's probably better at it than me. If it's an int roll, I've got 2 in int and 1 in computer cipher.
All right, so go ahead and give me 3, plus if you want to add willpower to it, and then we'll use that for additional dice for Jules.
This page is freaking out.
You can always just use the spell roll and throw the, what was that, 3? Yeah, 2 and 1, 3. 6 with willpower.
Okay, yeah, I added a willpower. So,
all right.
Nice.
Plus
3 bonus die for him.
With his own willpower, we are looking, just so we're above board. This is going to be an extended test. We're going to figure out how many months you guys have been working on this, including back at the start of our time skip. So Jules is throwing 13 dice at this every month.
Yeah, he's our little ciphers guy.
2.
Not doing incredible though.
No, it was a rough first month. Where's my notes? Do you have a bunch of ciphers? Or are you just talking about Chris?
So let me roll for my husband.
Oh, that's fair. You can go ahead and take a swing at the next one. Oh, actually, I completely forgot my -4 penalty. So yeah, we'll start fresh with a proper roll.
9.
With 9, yes. And we are looking for 6 total successes.
3.
Cool. Just go ahead and do it again. And figure out. Okay, cool. So it took you guys
Nailed
2
it.
months. Yeah. To go through this book. And without like having any real context other than the things, you start to pinpoint, okay, not only do we have dates, but these numbers seem to correlate with a start and stop time, some kind of duration, working out that, okay, there's an event on this day. We don't care when, or at least it doesn't seem to have like a clock time, but then it runs for a duration that you guys work out is calculated in hours. So it's, somewhere from 4 to 8 hours in that range across these about a year or so. And also determine that rather than it being, as far as you can see, actual numbers, you have one bit of, what would we say, one column of data that is basically instead of 1, 2s, and 3s, like as a number, it's more of selection A, B, C, D, or E. And they get repeated in different patterns. And so you're starting to work out, and Jules, being Jules and his background, goes, this seems like they're recording variables and experiments, especially in context of what the place was, realizing, okay, and it's like, okay, this thing happened, we did it for this duration, this was the result, though that's just a bunch of numbers, haven't figured out what that is, but in context, it's like, we did A for this duration, this was the result. We did B, same duration, this result. Boom, 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 boom. So, total resolution? No.
How many options did you say?
I didn't say specifically, but we'll go ahead and go with my A, B, C, D, E. So we'll go with 5.
It's awakenings.
Could be a thing. Could be a thing. Yeah, you're not sure what that final result is, because that has quite a range of numbers and data.
They're just trying to make mastigos. It's a mill of mastigos. They're in oppressive situations anyway. They're trying to break the chains.
I mean, it could be the opposite. They're trying to see how far they can push people without causing an awakening.
Also true.
Yeah, I'm saying some silly character.
But
I
do we
think
have
your suspicion was right though, Chris. I was just trying to add some silly.
Do we have the dates?
Yes.
So we could theoretically find that with time magic and check it out. I suspect it's probably veiled, but
you could absolutely go find and view around, and where you could probably guess this stuff is happening. Yep. The important point being, though, the very last date was the missing date that Jeremiah was taken, and the duration matches up to the very clear duration that Jeremiah was just
Erased.
gone. Right, erased. Zero's a good term for it.
Do the other people have other missing holes in their memory for the other dates?
No. No, there was something significant happened with this most recent one that required this level of cleanup.
This most recent one was different somehow.
Mm-hmm. If anybody else has more questions, feel free to throw them at some of this stuff that as characters you may have been able to discover when you were looking at some of this stuff. But I will definitely tell you, you are missing many a clue, so this is not a resolvable thing now. But if there's other stuff as you're looking, So I quickly go and edit and add some notes where I said, yes, there are 5 options.
Just go in real quick and make that canon.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
I don't have much else right now. Gotcha. I think we've gotten what we can from it.
And yeah, the different results section, and this is the thing that really steps, like, just it's the big problem, is if we set these numbers apart, that gives us a repeating A, B, C, D, E. This is a range, of time. The final result over here, these numbers, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. It's really large numbers, really small numbers. It's a that is like the code, I guess I would say. Like that's the thing that and you're talking about like numbers ranging from, oh, this one was a 5, this one was 4,733. It's like, what is happening here that you have such a wide
we have no idea what that number means.
Yep.
Are there no discernible patterns among them?
No. And that's because that's the other thing. It's like, as far as you and Jules go through it, you never had the same result twice, even when it's like, oh, hey, we did B for that same duration, different result. So there could be other variables that are not listed, right? But from what you've got, it's like, okay, they very clearly is some kind of science experiment. We can see these couple duration or a couple variables that they messed with. There could be others that you're unaware of. And very likely each of those numbers as results correlates to something else. Jules, basically mentions like, well, if you're having a ton of results, it would be much easier to write down that result and then reference a larger book or something like that has all those things detailed.
Yeah, naturally.
God, are we all in on this conversation?
I mean, this has been over a course of
different conversations.
So months of actual work.
Yeah, two months. Gotcha. 2 months to get to this result, and then we time skip wise, you've had 2 more months. That brings us to the August.
So we think that they were doing something around awakenings.
It's an idea.
So my question is it a farm in that they're growing and harvesting? Or is this a factory in where they're generating?
I will say, Helena will quickly be able to be like, Seers are not interested in making more awakenings. If Seers, well, if the Exarchs, but even the Seers are okay with it, the less people who awaken, the less people we have to share power with. They're not interested in making awakenings. They are the people, supporting the lie, after all.
Like Buzz says, I hope this doesn't seem like an unpleasant comparison, but this elaborate process, the geminotic significance of where we were connected to, the obfuscation of their work reminds me of Rilla. Archmage Rilla. Seers traffic in oppression. As much as I myself and others of my path believe in the value of triumph through adversity, for them it is, and you see him like move his lips around like he has grit in his mouth. For them it is grain. It is dough. It's merely a resource. Perhaps that is their purpose and aim. Generate enough stable, consistent examples of experience of harm that function for whatever insane machinations of those that control them.
Jules nods, flips through his, like, at this point he has, well, probably a book. Tons of books, probably just the one, and flips back and taps a thing and says, Helena, you told me that that's what you felt when you went to the uh plantation, that it was a place to make suffering. I just bring that up because it was really spot on observation.
And we can't tell from any of these if they were successful, but they have incidents logged, but we don't know what those were.
I mean, yeah, we don't know what the incidents were.
Yeah. Is that a success or a failure?
Yeah. You have a bunch of dates that you could go back and reference if you want to return back to the plantation or try and view so remotely. Yes, Ralph.
Yeah.
Thank you. In the course of the months leading up to the conversation we're presently having, has Legba made any progress of trying to make that negative space a little more clear to him? Even
I feel like this and your let me summon other supernal being stuff has been a big stymied thing. Well, actually, cool. I have a note here about Legba trying to find research fellows, right? And trying to be like, here is some. This is a problem. Has anybody else tried to deal with this?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely been a stymied, like, me by myself. You know, I don't have the full kit to look at this, and unfortunately, the rest of your team doesn't have mind, right? Yeah. So you're kind of working this solo. You're the only master egos, that kind of thing.
Okay, just wanted to see if by chance there was additional information that might shine some light on what we're looking at.
Yeah, I would say not yet.
Cool. All right, perfect. Thank you.
So last episode we left off on a couple things with Petrichor.
Oh yeah. I have a list of more things. I'm just like, we got a pin in our book study again. Then I'll move on to my next one.
Have any more ideas?
Okay, cool. Then perfect. Isabel is listed up next. Catalog of Nimbi. Which may or may not have been the thing you were talking about.
Part of it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If I remember correctly, and it was watching the video to make sure I remembered everything correctly, but your idea was to collect this catalog using the rest of the team assistants, so you could go show it off and try and figure out if anybody knew these folks.
Right.
Okay. I know the Maelstrom is obviously one of the places that you have the most access to. Was there anybody else that you're reaching out to or thinking about chatting with, or was that like, I'm gonna take this there first?
Remind me what my native colleague is.
Akomi.
Akomi?
Yep.
Yeah, I sort of, if we could make one and just like pass it along. Or she's in Mystigos, right? Okay, so she'll have perfect recall once she sees them. Okay. I would just like, this is something that we've gotten involved with and people that we think are almost certainly going to be involved with pushing for expansion of this institution. If you happen to come across any evidence of them, just let me know.
Yep. And kind of on the other side, also, these folks are around and we may have stirred up a hornet's nest, so they may be coming to you, kind of thing. Yep. Same thing with Abigail. Right. Okay. I like that. Yeah. very quickly, I will go ahead and tell you, Komi's like, do not recognize these nimbi. Definitely has the same vibe that y'all get, which is these are unpleasant.
Unpleasant, yeah.
Signature nimbi are always they usually are the after effects of whatever Nimbus tilt is, so they always have this kind of after effect feel. So some stuff gets burnt up, and things like that.
Right.
But then you have things like petrichor, for instance, where it's like, yeah, after I show up, there's this wonderful scent in the air. There's growth that happens after the storm. That's a bit more of a positive vibe. This stuff is all
The music.
Yep. This stuff that you've been looking at is all very negative. So,
Right.
Yep. Cool.
Leia's theme versus the Imperial March.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, do you? Actually, we're gonna put a pin in that. Because I realized we may head to the maelstrom in a minute, anyways. So
yes.
So Theo, yes, frustration, as this is your obsession. You want to help people awaken. You want to study them, and it's just not happening. Well, I mean, as I mentioned last episode, it probably is potentially going to happen. It's just keeping an eye out for it. And after, I would imagine a couple years, especially after, like you said, Jules is like, hey, I'm good where I'm at. I don't want to delve into this anymore. Javier Carson Bartolome, son of Edna and Jorge Bartolome, Anastasio's brother and wife, sister-in-law, that's it, has recently started talking to Valosia about her ability to speak with ghosts. Of course, Javier is I wouldn't say a close family friend, but as you run the mill and Edna and Jorge are seamstress and tailor and clothing makers, there's a good friendly relationship with y'all, especially because you're out here in the farms with the other Bartolome's, and well, Anastasio loves everybody, so this is what you're dealing with, is specifically Valosia coming and talking to you, and around dinner, and explaining that Javier is asking about her gifts, and he has expressed an interest in learning as well. At this point, like, speaking with ghosts and other spooky things is not questioned as being real or not in Purgatory Bluff. Like, everyone's like, oh yeah, we've seen stuff. We all know the super. There may be the one or two, right? Yeah, there's one or two folks who are like not into that. Couple folks who like intentionally, Ike, for instance, absolutely has the blinders on and refuses to believe in anything supernatural.
I love it.
Yep.
That's great.
I mean, what
So
do you
good.
know? That sort of thing was really popular amongst rich society folks.
Oh yeah, but remember, he doesn't have society. He has money and entitlement, but he's not going to the parties. He's not going.
He's not going to seances.
Right. He has a bunch of money, and yeah, he is deeply grounded. If we were a different coven, there would be a giant mammon sticker on the side of his face. Just he is greatly influenced by wealth, his desire to have it, and his desire to protect it. So he's just like, nope, none of this supernatural stuff is real. It's just distracting you from making money. So Javier is interested in learning this, and Valosia is like, it's a family thing for us, grandma, you, me, obviously, my daughter, like she's no plans to marry yet or anything like that. She just knows she's going to have a daughter and she will pass it on. It's obvious for her.
I mean, when she is of an age.
Right. But she's like, but it's Javi,
So here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a personal interest in fostering some training with him for whatever reason?
he is a handsome boy.
Or is your interest more like having somebody who understands the things that we can do?
Can't it be both?
Sure, I'm just wondering where is the scale tilting?
He's a nice boy. I like him.
You can't just ask her if she has a crush, Mom.
Yeah.
I'm okay. So let me rephrase it.
I know it might be different for the Romani, right? Like,
so let me phrase it simply. Do you want me to train him because I have more experience and knowledge, or do you want to train him to spend more time with him?
I want to train him as long as I have your blessing. It is a family gift. It's a family knowledge. However you have kind of established it. So before I go off telling some random boy, she has that attitude, right? I want to make sure it's okay. Because this is, for her, this is the thing that you two like for any, growing up stuff, arguments and back and forth and stuff. This is the thing that the two of you always had. She and Catherine have other stuff, but this is the thing that, was you two. And now she's like, can I share this with somebody else?
This might sound a little harsher than I'm intending. Do you need my blessing?
She smiled. She's like, no, but I want it.
Then you have it.
Okay. So I may be home late then tonight. It's like,
go ahead. You are your own person with your own will and your own knowledge and wisdom, and I trust you.
Yeah, which of course drives, quite a few other families just absolutely bonkers. It's like like in passing at church, your daughter was out Friday night until 2 a.m.
2:30 actually. Yes.
When ghosts come out? Ghosts ain't coming out at noon.
Yep. You at least gotta wait till sunset. Yeah.
I would caution that he may not be able to grasp, so you might be dealing with some frustration. Just be prepared.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can do what we can do. But by all means, give it a
shot. So yes, she quickly finishes eating, cleans up all the plates, and she is out the door. It's like, oh, she was asking for permission, but she had already made plans. But other note for not Theodosia, but Baba Sarah, hey, there is somebody who's actively in town looking for some stuff. And there's been other folks that you've probably seen, people who, especially who came to you to speak with the dead and were interested in things, but very often they speak to whoever they wanted to speak to, or something of that nature, and then their interest is done, right? As opposed to Javier, who sounds like he's not trying to contact somebody, he wants to know how to do this. So
now this is hard because there's a potential there that Theo could finally get to scratch this itch she hasn't been able to scratch for a number of years. But there's a potential romantic entanglement.
Yep. You didn't think I was just going to make this one easy.
So she's going to take the stance of close observation at a distance.
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So here's the question, because this was my immediate like, oh, I know what I would do.
Mhm.
Do you talk to a ghost and be like, all right, can you go
Mm.
keep an eye on?
His hands go
No.
too far in the wrong direction.
Right.
You manifest. You slap those hands. You understand me? You want this essence here? You better do it.
Good, great.
There's no denying that the temptation would be there, but Theo has always had some strong views about free will,
Mhm.
and so she wouldn't intervene in whatever is about to happen unless things get dangerous or they contact some angry spirit or something. So she's not
Right. Well,
gonna.
that's
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, get a ghost to go play guardian, not necessarily.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. But yeah, mark
Yeah.
that down.
She wouldn't chum the waters, so to speak, for him to make it easier or anything like that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, like, oh yeah, by sending a guardian ghost to hang out there, it's like, oh, hey, I'm being called. Very awkward. I'm here working.
And this goes like, I'm only supposed to watch, but now I'm here. Geez, what do I? She's going to be so mad.
Yep.
We'll just avoid that whole scenario.
Yep. I like that. And then for Legba, coming back around, some of the stuff that you have looked into, you've started to like reach out to folks in Metropolis, and that kind of network of mages that you've kind of, traded favors with, made grimoires for. You've started that like, hey, I have this obsession, this thing I'm looking into. Also, there's this weird problem that I want to look at, but of course, it's not like, oh, hey, come meet Jeremiah, right?
Yeah.
So you're having to kind of be careful about that. And I believe you said you were also looking for, or try to put your ear to the ground for the liberators.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So yes, starting to reach out and see if folks are interested in this, who's that kind of thing. But liberators actually comes up fairly quickly.
Oh, wow, cool.
They are I'm going to say large. They're large for a nameless order group up in the Northeast, somewhere around like Massachusetts.
Thanks.
And they are well, at this point, kind of famous-ish apostates. It is an entire cabal, large cabal from that region that defected. Well, left is a better term. The Diamond Order, basically going, hey, let's talk about the supernal symbol of slavery and tyranny, and the fact that we are not pushing back on slavery. Like, I get it. Oh, we're trying to do things political. Let's just get rid of this thing. Like, and the Diamond Order, including down in the South, are like, well, hang on, it has its uses. Like, motherfucker, no. So the liberators are like, you know what? We're taking a new name. We're taking our ball. We're going home.
Yeah.
And so they have a very strong sense of this is what we're going to do, and we're going to do very similar to what you all have been doing in going in, and they don't have, because they're operating at a larger scale, they're not just sweeping in and grabbing slaves and emancipating folks. So they're more, so, and they're also not removing slaves out of their place. They are instead doing things, oh my gosh.
What, like with market forces or something?
Well, they're I mean, yes.
That's great. They sweep them with all the money at an auction.
Well, I just realized I needed to go double check the date. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
But in 2 years, the liberators are going to be some of the folks behind and nudging sleepers and causing the John Brown raid.
Oh, cool.
And actually, at this in Harper's Ferry,
Yeah.
at this point, they are probably already working John Brown, who, by the way, for those who are not familiar, not into U.S. history, he was a big staunch abolitionist.
Yes.
And they basically left their little farmhouse hideout in Harper's Ferry, and they went into town and they captured prominent citizens and the federal armory there.
So they will do that in 2 years.
Correct. In our timeline. Now, whether or not, technically it did fail. They were
naturally,
killed and stuff like that, but it was also one of the big things that came up in the 1860 presidential election. One might say that these folks are like real firebrands. They're like, let's make stuff happen. And because of their, and this is not obviously what was told for you verbatim, but your investigation, because they have so many connections to the Diamond Order, everything they're doing, they have to be very light touch and nudging sleepers into doing things, or enabling sleepers to do things. That way there's enough deniability that when the Diamond Order looks over at them, they can sit there with their, sweet school children faces and little halos above their head, and we didn't do anything. Our name is the Liberators, but we didn't do anything.
So directly.
Right. You won't find our Nimbus anywhere around there. Yeah, exactly that kind of thing.
Can I ask for an additional detail on something? Because like, we're particularly interested to learn about this. This isn't something that he might know immediately. This is something I know from American history. A lot of abolitionists, especially early abolitionists, belong to progressive Christianity, Unitarians, Quakers, many other Protestant sects, right? So I'm curious what the connection might be. I think Legba would then be interested in learning what the connection might be between the religious backgrounds of the Liberators and the actions they're taking.
Very much. Yeah. Lot of, actually probably very similar to Helena. Helena takes it to a whole other level with her legacy. But yeah, a lot of these Christian theurges and stuff like that, these people are like, wait, hang on. Hang on. And there are some folks who have fallen out of their religion because, I've awakened and I realized God isn't real because I'm a Moros, and but you're gonna have some Abrimos who awaken, Mastigos who are like so there's a wide range, but the Liberators, it's a big, strong, one of our nameless order yantras is busting out a crucifix. Right,
all right,
and which that in it of itself has also caused a lot of problem, because there's this group called the Paternoster, who are going, we would like to sue. that's our trademark. And Liberators have and this is the part where Legba goes, we might want to chat with these folks. Liberators have literally put out a bounty for prelates.
Whoa!
You prove you killed a prelate, we owe you.
Whoa!
Okay.
Yeah. And
Helena's about to start carrying that sword around all this time. Karen's going to start trunk carrying it. Keep the gun ready in the
keep it ready.
in the trunk of the car.
But
it's more like I don't need the money.
Well, it ain't money that they're giving away.
Some jobs are their own reward.
It's the scene of Pulp Fiction where they're opening the trunk and pulling things out.
Yes.
But it's Helena and Petrichor in saddlebags of Jose the horse. Just we should have shotgun for this shit.
Yep. Yes. Yep. Now that said, because of that, the Liberators are also now very hard to locate and contact. But they are proto Free Council, proto Nameless War. These guys are fired up. They have a very specific thing, and to be fair, their focus is entirely on this slavery issue. Obviously, in that nature, they have beef with Sears.
Yeah.
But they don't have a lot of support or anything from the Diamond Order, who are like, no, that's a sleeper problem. We're going to let them figure that out for themselves. And the Adamantine era are going, civil war, civil war. It's like the Diamond Order is not here to assist the liberators. So it is definitely now one of those, I have a Rolodex entry that says the liberators, Massachusetts, ? And that's all the contact information you have, other than that one guy who put a sword to your neck. He's the only other person, right, who seems to have had direct contact with the liberators.
And we're talking about the Diamond Order, but I think it's important to keep in mind that there's the different groups that are within the Diamond Order. Some of them are going to have very different perspectives on all of this.
Yep.
I mean, that actually can be copacetic.
Yep. Well, right now the Diamond Order, they're a problem. The people are leaving the Diamond Order in droves right now.
I would say that
because of your people.
So when Legba learns about this, and share everything with everybody, of course. In Metropolis, he would trying to think how he would do this. So with his status and his connection to maybe city guides or stuff like that, people bringing him, I think we discussed before that perhaps there's some city guides that just have seen him more frequently by chance or circumstance. He might invite them to drop mention of his name if they happen to. They're not trying to be found. Okay, let me see how he would do this. Let me tell you what my end goal is, and then you can offer a possible solution. That's better.
Love it.
How this works. Legba wants to somehow provide some way of making it clear that he doesn't know anything about these people to them. Somehow gently suggest he'd like to talk to them and offer an opportunity to do that in a safe place of their choosing. He would say things like, he would like to explore liberation on the crossroads or something like that. He would use, imagery of his own self, his own identity, trying to imply that he would like to somehow meet up and have a conversation, however clandestine or surreptitious it needs to be. Even if it's just dropping messages, like line drop or something like that, and exchanging somehow, he'd like to chat with people.
Okay. I like that. While I think on that, hey, Craig, what scene are you wanting to have with Lego?
Oh, so we meet fairly regularly in Theo's workshop for talking and that kind of thing. And on one such occasion, she stops the conversation phone and goes up and gets out a small little box and hands it to you. Do you remember a couple of years ago, the Jacobs farm, they had a fire?
Yes.
Dog woke them up. Everyone made it all okay, but the dog didn't make it. And she pushes the box toward you a little bit.
How big of a box is it?
It's small, like a ring.
A ring? Cool. You see him take a deep breath, and he holds the box in two hands.
And there's a little silver whistle in there.
He smiles.
Safe to say your mage sight would be going off, I think, because this is an anchor.
Then
Whiskey.
What'd you say?
His name is Whiskey.
And you see him smile, and this time his smile reaches his eyes. He's been practicing. He's letting it happen, right? He's learning how to do this. So you see delight and then mirth on his face, and he immediately blows it.
And Whiskey is able to manifest when the whistle's blown.
He's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks down. He clutches the whistle. And he reaches out a hand to place it gently on Whiskey's head.
And he can't do anything much else than show up, but
he can do what?
He can't materialize.
Okay, gotcha. He manifests. Sorry. Yeah.
He can just manifest.
Okay, fair enough.
He's just a weak little ghosty, but he's looking for a friend, and I immediately thought of
Friends.
you.
Oh. Oh.
I mean, and I can't give this to the family. Like, he wants somebody to play with him from time to time and like see him and stuff.
This is so
just
nice
thought you might like it.
and so unexpected. Yes, I do like it, and I'm grateful. Thank you.
Welcome.
And he tries to give you a hug.
Oh yeah, Theo will accept.
I feel like Theo tried to give Legba a hug way back when.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like it was like hugging a board.
Yes. Theo make the comment like, "Oh,
Sure.
you've grown a lot in these 2 years."
Is he any better at it, or is he just trying?
No, he's better at it now.
Okay,
The smile
good.
was genuine. Yeah. He's not like tensing his whole body as though it's a wrestling hold.
I love it.
you
Like
know?
I love how initially like, he'd be approaching hugs as a contest of strength, right?
Yes, exactly.
Greco-Roman wrestling.
It's a performance, it's a
Yes.
demonstration of physical ability, not necessarily trying to put them in an uncomfortable position, right? But he can't be a weak hugger, right? So yeah, this is great. So then Legba also says, I hope with time he can join the pack.
Oh, I'm sure he would love that. See how things go. I'm sure you two get along, but if you want to do enhancements or something like that, I could beef him up possibly.
Yes. I have
But
one
we can-
request.
Yeah, we can have a conversation about that.
Legba says one thing. I have one request.
Mm-hmm.
That he can talk to the other canines.
I can tell you that. Well, no, because image does sound too, doesn't it?
Yeah, like when he manifests, he's obviously translucent and stuff, but he's still, wagging tail, pawing and
Awesome.
whining and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so that should be as long as the other dogs will accept him.
Okay. Yeah.
Living beings have some weird thoughts about dead people and things.
Yeah, I'm sure dogs are like, "Sup, dog? Hi, I'm also dog. Cool."
Are you dog? Or are you acting like dog?
Yeah,
I'm
unfortunately,
dog.
no butt
Yeah,
sniffing.
Right. Yeah, that's.
I love that. That works out really well, actually. I was able to put down some notes. Yay! We zip over.
Can we have a scene where he brings him back and you see a scene where Legba goes in and then also unbeknownst to the rest of the cabal, he takes a katana out of the closet and starts moving slowly as a 90s rap beat plays in the background. And then all of a sudden you transition to somehow Legba on top of a roof in an urban environment. And he's developed ptosis. Anybody get what reference I'm making?
It's over my
Ghost Dog, Way of the Samurai.
Okay.
With Whitaker.
Yeah, I was to say, with the eye, I was like, hang on. But
Come on. Trying to toss it out there for you.
I was getting stuck on like Samurai Champloo or something.
Oh, fair enough.
The 90s rap beat threw me off.
I legit forgot that he actually had a katana in that movie. I haven't seen it. I've read the synopsis and gone, that sounds amazing, and the story arc is really good, but I just
it's
never
the whole,
said
follow Bushido and roaming around and stuff.
Yep. So. I love that. No, I thought you were referencing well, never mind, I'm not going to say that because you weren't referencing it, so I'm not going to give it up because it might come up later.
Ooh, cool.
Sick.
Yes, so we
jump over the demon wind. Wait,
technically, I think they're around at this point. But anyways,
are they gonna come? Are they gonna come? Are they gonna cut and see us down? Oh, they're gonna be teleporting around the other. Oh yeah.
All right. Legba puts the word out. and especially the biggest thing is
Mhm.
you have a very clear shadow name and shadow self, right?
Yeah.
It leans itself towards being, yes, openness and freedom and stuff like that. The problem is any kind of religious icon could be paternoster, right?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
So word reaches you.
Mhm.
And in my head, this is like when you first started to meet with some folks in the Temenos to discuss summoning supernal beings,
Yes.
with a, group of 6 of you who are like, yeah, seriously, why can't we do this? And like, we're going to figure this out. And one of them is an archmage in disguise going, all right, let's see what these guys come up with.
Yeah, that's right. Can they do it? I don't know. I mean, it doesn't work right.
Yeah, come on, see what happens.
Yeah. Basically a Goche arrives who looks absolutely like telegram delivery, little like from like if you were in New York City. Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
It just runs in, looks around, immediately recognizes you, runs over and puts a telegram in your hand and stands there while you read it and waits for you to obviously read it and then turns away and walks away and the telegram disappears out of your hand. And in short, you just watched what will eventually be known as the WhatsApp. Wait, no, is that it? The WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
This Goetia WhatsApp. He just. All right. Anyways,
What's up? What's up? Yeah, you're referencing the
app. Yeah. We're good.
The app. WhatsApp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just
I
hoping
thought you were taking the joke later. When you paused, I was like, it's going to be another. That's not the punchline.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Well,
That's good.
In 150 years, that same Goetia would be an entirely different, like,
correct.
This is the beginning. He's WhatsApp.
Yep.
Yeah. Eventually he'll be WhatsApp.
He gets in the minds of the creators of the app. He's like, I need more. Hey, there's got to be some people using me. Come on now. Telegram, no telegrams anymore. I'm around here. I've been around for a long time. We got to do it.
Actually, isn't that an app? Anyway, sorry. Hang on. Back on
Telegram. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That may have been a.
That's what I got confused. I was like, Telegram was right there.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, what does the Telegram say, Drew?
Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you. Put me out of my misery. The Telegram basically says, if you sincerely desire to meet with us, you may meet with one of our agents in the Temetic realm of Papa Legba. Like, and the idea being like, we will go there, but you will have to stand before your, representative in like, go ahead, turn against and act against who you are in front of him. I dare you.
Sounds good to me.
It's good. It is.
That's a great choice.
Yeah, it's for it's the equivalent of we'll go meet and we'll go hang out in front of your grandma.
Yeah,
see how you behave in front of grandma. So
it's a good thing grandma and I play pinochle twice a week.
Yep,
we're on good terms.
Yeah, but there is that line that can't cross with grandma.
Absolutely,
right?
Of course, so, yes, totally.
Unfortunately, we will have to put a pin in that because I hadn't thought about that kind of meeting. So, but yeah,
need more time. Totally fine. No worries.
Yeah. And you're given a date and time, which unfortunately you're like, time, right? There's a 24-hour clock that I'm going to have to deal with. I'm sure they.
Yeah. He's like,
time zones? When did we establish time zones? Because I knew it was around this time. When were time zones established? 1883.
Ain't no time.
But yeah, so that'll be a thing. And we jump over.
In his mind, right? He's like, time is for people who can't simultaneously be in the physical and the
That's true.
astral.
Yeah.
Just gotta park myself in Papa Legba's
Time, I'll
place
wait
and
here
just
I'll be
forever.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not leaving? What?
I'll be there. You come find me. So, as previously promised, we return back over to Isabel and Petrichor, and the catalog of Nimbai, taking that up to the Maelstrom, and as you previously mentioned, meeting up with Abigail and letting her know, hey, I'm up to shenanigans. So, of course, we see Abigail again, who is absolutely still rocking the classic witch outfit. She's being a little bit more
Black cat, broom, big hat.
Yeah, and she's basically gone from like Shadow Name 1 to Shadow Name 3 since, the decade has gone by. So she has a great, like, I don't want to say seductress because that has another temptress on a broader term. She's the person who you can ask things for and she'll make them happen, or she will entice you into doing things. Yeah, that's her vibe.
What's the... Continue talking. I'll figure it out.
Okay. And I imagine this is, one of your regular meetups, or you had some way of reaching out to her and letting her know, hey, we need to meet, and bring with you your catalog of Nimbai. Actually, do we want to go so far as to say this is actually a meetup of the Tempestari? I don't know how often.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And because we got some time to mess with here, and literally flying up and beating up with Abigail and some other folks that at this point.
Where do I have to meet it?
I don't know.
Okay. Probably not Purgatory Bluff.
Probably
over
not,
the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. I mean, actually, probably not a bad idea. Gulf of Mexico or some of the. Yeah, I wonder if that's what it alternates. It's basically like Southeast Asia, Gulf of Mexico, depending on the season.
Typhoon, hurricane, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the last time I had a meeting in Kentucky, it was a century flood. So maybe we should do it out to sea.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll say out in the Gulf of Mexico. So it's a short flight. And
okay. From Colorado.
Is it though?
Compared to Southeast Asia?
That's it.
Well, fair.
To quote you, Chris, that's a skill issue.
Yeah.
Fly faster.
Just fly faster.
Yeah, just fly faster.
I don't have to fly. I could just fall.
That's
playing
Instead cross-legged it, reading a book as you're sailing horizontally through the air.
I love it. You're gonna lash your way there?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah, lash her way to the storm. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it is. I don't feel like the Tempestari are a particularly social group. When you have a legacy that is built around being the storm, emotions always run high. You get here, everybody is in their shadow name, which in some form or fashion is about a storm. Even Abigail Crow, who doesn't tend to show it on the physical throwing out lightning, wearing lightning scars on her chest, like some people.
Yeah, I'm built different. It's fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She leans into the like stormy flitting emotions kind of stuff. So she just, she is fun.
Storm Crow.
Yep. She is all over the place emotion wise, which you've gotten used to, but for some folks it's a problem. And so it's it's big meetup. Let's chat with folks. Let's adopt new legacy members. There's been pressure on you to be like, hey, have you thought about like picking somebody up? Have you you're at that. I think Abigail even goes so far. She hits you with the mom move, right? you're about the age I was when I took you on as a mentor, It's like, wait, hang on.
You're not getting any younger, dear. It's about time you took on an apprentice.
Yeah. Actually, pause there. Has Petrichor thought about doing so? Or is it
I
one of
would
those?
say this would be a surprise to her.
Mm-hmm.
I think having probably only recently, like with the sort of like reactivation of the cabal,
Mm-hmm.
was when she sort of got her third dot, and so she still feels she hasn't recognized the like growing importance and weight that her actions and words have within the order.
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you. Yeah, which is actually very similar to where Abigail had been, because she had been just new to that rank.
Just
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So okay, so yeah, that's I really like that, Abigail talking with Petrichor and Petrichor going, oh,
Wait,
yeah.
What?
Damn.
Yep.
Another thing to do, huh? Okay, fine.
Yep.
All right, bring them on out.
Yeah, it's like I've got a how many more hats? No, on the plus side, there's no particular, it's not like people are showing up. Most people don't show up to the Tempest and accidentally fling themselves there and get swept. Right.
Built different / skill issue.
But yeah, it comes up in discussion. I don't even think the Tempestari do a big like, let's all sit together in one room and have a talk. It's more of this thing is said to so and so, and it kind of passes by word of mouth.
I imagine the actual like meetings being very like well, I picture the top of the Tempest where you can like walk and stuff being very like Disney Hercules Mount Olympus, like crafted out of clouds and shit. And yeah, very like Latin, like Greco-Latin, whatever. Greco-Roman. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't get Rome. That sort of like neoclassical sort of people done put up some columns of clouds and shit and big amphitheater. And it's like, we're not meeting inside for sure.
Nope. Nope. Some folks go down there. Some folks never come back out.
Right.
Yep. But yeah, so, apprentices are claimed and announced. Because, most people join the Tempestari because a Tempestari finds a young Thyrsus or a Brimos and say, oh, let me show you this, and then they're shown off at the first available meeting, as opposed to some people who show up on a cloud. And you bring up, here's the Nimbai, bring that up to Abigail, and show her that list, and she you have to bring her a copy because
I'm not going to get to keep that.
Nope.
But I also know it's like the order we don't do politics here.
Yep.
So it has to be a little bit more discreet and can't just go like, hey, you guys over there. Any of these your homies?
Yep.
Hey, chumps, you friends with some oppressors? We're going to take them down.
But in this meeting, I will absolutely, and I have success breakpoints laid out here. If you want to subtly with Abigail go about and talk about things and see and name drop effectively, Nimbus drop some of these folks to see if you can determine who any of these folks might be.
I have one name, right? The guy that had the fire spirits.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, we have one name.
Or the person that had the fire spirits, I should say. Just because they're evil doesn't mean I have to assume that they're masculine.
Where's his name? Trigander.
Trigander, right.
Yes. Trigender.
Yep.
So that is the name you know for sure. And then you have I believe it's 3 signature Nimbus. There's somebody who did the healing, somebody who did the fire, and somebody who did the time, right?
Right.
Yep. So yeah, 3 Nimbus.
Cool. That sounds like maybe a socialized role.
Yeah.
Or
I am a-okay with you pitching whatever preferred method you want. I have some notes for myself on what things you use will determine potential consequences. So, for instance, like if you're, and you've already said you're not doing it, but if it's like, oh, presence persuasion, anybody know these guys? Yeah, that's gonna big red flags.
That's not this character.
Yep.
That's Songbird.
Yep. Isabel Petrichor is live in other ways.
Petrichor has a slightly different understanding of cause and effect than Songbird did.
Songbird is, I am the cause.
I will be the cause and have a better effect.
Yep. Cool. So yeah. And
yeah, I think it's going to be subterfuge plus manipulation.
Okay.
And just feeding lines. Like, is it like Isabel and Petrichor, like we haven't touched on it in a while, but like the whole start of the like ingratiation in the town was all like,
and she's a performer.
Putting on a show, right? Yeah, putting on a show and being who other people needed her to be to fit in, so she wasn't destitute.
Right. Add 2 to your die roll from Abigail's help.
Cool.
Awesome.
I'll do a Willy.
This is why I came prepared.
Ooh, yeah.
8 successes, and I haven't even done any of my fast talking stuff yet either. So, because I don't remember what that does, I gotta look that up.
And this is why because I knew Chris was going to do this role, I have a range of 1 success to 10 successes because I was prepared. I was like, I'm gonna ask Chris to do a roll. This is going to go anywhere. So with 8 successes. In discussion and kind of like from like a professional standpoint, and like, hey, there's been this Nimbus I've seen in the area, or I've interacted with, however you place it, in a professional curiosity kind of way. Yes, one of the other members of the Tempestari who sit on the other side of the auditorium recognizes the Nimbus of Sir Lucan. Says, yeah, that one sounds familiar. They are a Brimos and part of a pylon called the Serpents.
Can you put name in chat?
Mm-hmm.
How to spell Lucan?
Yep. Yes, a Sir Lucan. And an Abrimos and part of the Serpent's Pylon.
I see.
And of course, Pylon for you even just stands out as like, that's not a cabal. Only one group says Pylon. And that is more or less.
Oh, appreciate you letting me know that.
Yeah, and that's over the course of the meeting. Bring this thing up, and somebody identifies it as Sir Lucan. Oh yeah, I'd recognize that Nimbus anywhere. Somebody else is
the fire one.
No. Yes. The fire, not the fire spirits. The fire.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Which to remind y'all, the signature Nimbus there was objects appearing worn out and used, locations picked clean and barren, people tired and burnt out. Very, very much a like used up.
Just a dreary Nimbus.
Well, signature Nimbus. What the immediate Nimbus would probably be is potentially very, very energetic. Yep.
And that sucked the life out of you, sort of way.
Mm-hmm. That's a really good way to look at it. So that is the, amongst you doing other things potentially at this meeting, yeah, you're able to kind of name drop or Nimbus drop, name drop, and then end up with that detail. Oh,
cool. Can I push to get more without like tipping my hand too much?
Yes. Question: what are you more interested in, Sir Lucan or the pylon?
I think the pylon.
Okay, go ahead and roll. Abigail is like, okay, hang on, you're on your own now.
No help from her.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Cool.
3 successes.
So, the serpent pylon, from what you can get, they're a big pylon. They're not a ministry pylon. And rumor has it, as you like are chatting with some folks who are, enjoying some storm wine and words are words are slipping out that probably shouldn't, and it's the whole hey, we're all Tempestari here kind of stuff.
Like that you guys be drinking like fermented essence of lightning.
Right. Oh yeah, because why wouldn't you?
We definitely got some blankets. I was reminded of one of the things you can craft in Book of Hours called Swaddled Thunder.
Oh yeah,
that sounds
we
so
would storm into fabric.
So good.
Like the weighted blanket with a yeah,
electric blanket. Come on, it was right.
Oh
there.
yeah. There it is. Yep. But yeah, they are new as far as pylons go, and are cross ministry pylon. So not an unusual thing for Sears, but this one apparently has quite a few ministries are involved.
Which either means they're going to be highly functional or highly dysfunctional. Correct. And nothing in between.
Correct. Yeah. So there's a lot of other weird rumors, and for everything that you hear the opposite as well.
Yeah.
Quickly realize, talking with your Tempestari Seer cousins, we'll say, over there, it's a big thing people like to talk about, and it's very much a like open secret. Like, oh yeah, we all know the Navy SEALs exist, right? They're special agents. They do a bunch of stuff. We talk about some of the things they do. There's a bunch of stuff we don't talk about that we don't know that they do. And you hear all sorts of levels of, stories and this, that, and the other. It's like, this can't all be true. Some of it is, contradictory and stuff like that. Or, oh no, it is all true, and this is just some absolute powerhouse. How have they not taken over the world yet? Right.
But
yeah, you definitely get that they're a big group.
Good to know. Wonderful. From there, I think like after the meeting, probably don't need actual like info or a scene of this, but like one of the things that Isabel would be looking for is like thunder is so close to the sound of the drums of war. And every time she meets up with the Tempestari, it seems like they've always like just come from another part of the world where another war is happening. We talked about the Was it the Boxers Rebellion?
No, Indian Rebellion.
Okay.
But yes, there is war in China though as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to remember what war was happening. The Boxers Rebellion is much later, yeah. And stuff like that. And so it's like this is now twice in a row that the Tempest has been like off the shores of America. And she's just sort of, I think she's just spreading the awareness of like, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen.
I would bet that there is an adamantine arrow member who's there who's
Stoking
like,
it,
yeah, it's coming. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's coming. Oh, it's coming.
Yep. You know, and just because, you know, this is my read on at least some Tempest story, right? Yeah, the boisterous boasting, you know, loud, oh yeah, it's coming, you know, we're looking forward to it. And there's probably even like some jovial jibes across the aisle, like, you know, we're going to start up this thing and, you know, we're going to wreck, you know, when Sherman comes down through Atlanta, we're going to wreck all those sanctums you've got set up. Not that Sherman's even a general yet.
Even on the scene, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah,
don't give away my plans, Drew.
Yeah. Lo and behold, Sherman was actually Petrichor in disguise.
You got enough life magic for it? Why not?
Arm tucked in, laser eyes.
Yep.
That's what. You got the forces for the laser eyes. It's perfect.
But yeah, I think being aware of that and going through that discussion and seeing that she feels and reacts differently to a lot of these folks about that. Like, Petrichor is always ready to fight, right? But she doesn't want to.
Right.
I think that's the difference of why she's not a Praetorian or why she's not an adamantine arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think she really just has to like go. I mean, it seems really strange to have to go get some air when you're in the fucking maelstrom, but
yes.
Yeah, I think so. She just like wanders off, like
away from the
like settled area of the Tempest, so to speak.
I mean, you can do the super dramatic, you know, walk to the edge and look down into the Tempest, into the maelstrom itself.
Yeah, I think she just like, she's just got like herself a big bottle of wine. She's not one for glassware. And just sort of standing on the edge there, sort of pondering and considering and like new info here for sure, and just observing the spirits and the other denizens of the maelstrom flying around. Yeah,
because from here you can look down and you can see the storm spirits. That's you know, fairly obvious, but here it's a little bit of a squint or use some forces magic, and you can see some of the manifesting supernal beings down there that come out and cruise at the center. Yeah, the time dog sitting beside you.
Hey, bud.
There's a head tilt and a look, and it's like, you know, this is the guy who shows up when you make decisions or realize things, or because he's here to observe, watch the things that you do.
And I think she is just sort of like meditating on, because her shadow name is what comes before the storm, right? It is that impending sense of energy and everything like that, of what will be unleashed. And so I think she is trying to further her understanding of things. And the other like big function, so to speak, of the Tempest is that like destruction and rebirth as like cleansing. And so she thinks about in the sense of the arcana of time, of the like washing away of erosion of all these sort of natural phenomena of time, and tries to just sort of not like reach out, but like with time sight on, find something down in the maelstrom to focus on.
I mean, you see the emanation realm.
Yeah.
There are many an entity, and especially you turn mage sight on, and Time Dog can very clearly speak.
Right there. Yeah.
Yep. You asked me a question.
I did.
A couple months ago.
I did.
As you count time. Like, he's bound. He can't give you any kind of help. Not without a trial, but looks up, leans over, looks down, even goes so far as to do the very, gentlemanly dog thing, crosses his paws and lays down.
And he's dangling, and he's just sort of like wiggling his tootsies over the end.
Yep.
Would you aim me in the right direction of one of your brothers to speak to?
Yeah, the ones you speak of are deep within.
Leap of faith time.
And we always have the telepathy going, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like we can just sort of reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Legba, would you have the Cabal join me where I am?
Yes. You all receive, if this were, the 21st century.
Should be a split.
You get a group invite in the bottom right of the screen.
Exactly. Yep. And you get a loading tag, right? Group invite.
Hey, can I get a summon?
Yep. And Legba, I think, is going to teleport people from where they are to there, because he doesn't believe that he can get a fixed location on the Tempest.
No, trying to teleport to the Tempest, bad idea. Trying to teleport to Petrichor, that's pretty safe.
Yeah.
She'll take a step back.
Also true.
Knowing that this is coming, if Catherine's anywhere nearby, I'm sorry, I'll be right back. And tries to break line of sight immediately.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
I gotta run to the outhouse.
Yep.
You're really doing a sort of somebody on 2 dates bit of your entire character, Craig.
Yep.
Hilarious. Yeah. So, Helena and Theo would, of course, receive a telepathic communication saying, "Petrichor summons us. Will you come?"
The beacons are lit.
Yep.
Of course.
And as soon as you start saying that,
you're just there.
Yep.
You get the O vote, and then.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Which of the 3 of you do you think accidentally almost steps off the edge?
Legba.
She just reaches out and just has you by the like the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, careful there.
And then he says, "Oh, I assumed my first attainment would aid me in the sky.
So
Suppose the absence of liminality is actually a risk."
I was going to say,
your
inward
outward and inward eye,
is going bonkers trying to make out
makes sense of what's happening.
Because not only is it the clouds, right, which now you're seeing the multitude of twisting pathways and stuff like that
every
make
time
up
I try and
the cloud.
Yeah, there's probably like dozens of irises swirling around in the cloud too that you can see into those. Like it's like you're looking into a 5-dimensional space. With your 2-dimensional mind.
And that's
too much going on here.
And because we also go so far as to, and then there's the Tempest itself, which is an emanation realm.
Welcome to the home of my order. Can you see the time dog now here, or do you have to go like in for everything to be visible?
Because it's fun, I imagined he is like transparent.
Yeah,
right.
Fair. He's like manifested right on the edge of it. Yeah. My friend and I were just discussing how to find another helpful totem.
What's he told you?
Just sort of gestured in there. I thought you all thought you might all appreciate the journey with me.
Legba puts a hand on your shoulder. Says, "Yes, sister."
I'm here to support my cabal mates. Absolutely.
It's certainly safer.
In the same way that being a member of a herd is technically
yes, correct.
Horns on the outside.
The odds of you being the one to survive go up if there's more other people around you.
But yeah, diving in there by yourself, bad idea. So
sure. Well, and the other thing I appreciate for Babasera and Legba, this place is probably a little disconcerting. There's weird stuff going on. But then there's Helena with Forces 5.
Great.
It's like, I could put my summer home here. This would be okay. I'd visit.
I imagine there's like there's a bit of your like Gnostic understanding of like, yeah, I could have done well here.
Yep. Somewhere Rilla. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yep. Anyways, so I don't know that we particularly established this detail last time, but because I think Helena was the one to grant flight to Legba and Babasera to leave the plantation. So, what do your wings look like?
One moment.
Like, does Helena pick or do we pick?
No, like
Touchbird's giving you wings.
From a life standpoint, it makes sense that like the spell would be able to create like an adaptive to you sort of pair of wings.
Yes,
right.
This is Babasera with wings, not the wings that.
Not hey, here's some big golden eagle wings to wear. It's like
totally, that makes sense.
But yeah, so like I have thoughts, but I wanted to leave those details up to what y'all would come up with.
Yeah, that makes complete sense to me.
I mean, I'm kind of leaning into, bone wings with shadows sort of webbing them together.
Sick. Still gotta be life.
Physical.
Yeah.
But more bat-like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Cool.
How about Legba?
Legba's wings are those of the owl associated with Marinette.
See. And then Helen.
Hoda got big ass, kick ass Ben Affleck wings.
Oh, those are mine.
That's
From
true.
Dogma.
Yeah, I'm actually thinking of like your 6 pairs of wings vibe on a
Actual
Archangel.
angelic. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And you brought up a good point. If it's got to be life, and I think mine would be more like vulture wings.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's great.
I love
leaving feathers behind as she moves by.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love the idea of like, you know, animal wings. Helena is over here. I brought 6.
I brought my own. Thank you.
You just need 2. Just need 2, Helena. Nope, 6. I hide myself in them.
Yeah, and so Petrichor essentially like faces away from the Tempest, casts the spell, and then as her wings sprout, just
Yeah, Chris Angels.
tucks backwards. Yeah.
I am the mind freak.
Just follow me.
I've been screamed at near constantly for almost
Uh-huh.
2 hours now. It's
Oh,
great.
Yeah. Layla. Rough.
You need her a mic.
Nope.
Prop her
No.
on a stool. Give her a mic.
Just
You want-
record every bork.
She wants to participate.
She wants to go bed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's mad
Oh.
at me because I'm paying attention to someone that's not her, and she wants to go to bed.
I see.
She can't sleep if she's not sure everybody in the house is secure. Yep.
You have to go to bed if she wants to go to bed.
Yep.
Mhm.
Well, as the 4 of you fall, dive, or leap into the eye of the storm, I think Petrichor, you see just kind of in the distance up there at the top, is basically just a woman in a black hat. That's all about you could make up, leaning on a broom, just watching as you fall. And because there have been many a Tempestari who have entered the Maelstrom. Some of them even come out.
True.
You know.
True. Sometimes.
Yep. And it's like, yeah. And it's, you know, it's not a guaranteed death, you know, but
Probably
yeah,
not.
it is a dangerous place.
Sure.
As you all see, as you get deeper and deeper, and once you're down into that eye, there is no sun. Like you had a little bit of like horizon sun coming up, but now you were
like
into,
golden hour kind of thing.
right now you
Yeah.
are into this tunnel. There is no direct sunlight. You just have some blue up there, and it becomes, you know, that black of a storm. Storm spirits are zipping around, freely materialized. Some kind of zoom over, and Petrichor has to give a stern glare at. It's like, don't even.
I will eat you.
Yep.
I will eat you.
Yep. And they are allies of the Tempestari, so it's not even the spirit for, though that's a big help, but it's also like, oh, okay, hang on, these folks are alive allies. We'll suffer them to pass and make it into the dark core, where you are seeing some supernal beings that don't fall into the normal path categorization of things. These are, you know, supernal beings without a path necessarily, right? Like
yes, like, but it's immediately super intrigued.
This is new to me.
Interested.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this is where the Force's supernal beings show up in infinite variety. This is, you know, the couple Tempestari who have the dark brown hair and are like, I have a thing. They're the ones who are like, no, I know there has to be more than 5 paths. Let me tell you about all the various beings I have seen in the Tempest. And they're like, you went into the Tempest? Right, yeah. It's like, you went into the Tempest and came out? Yep. And I saw things. And they're like, I bet you did. And there's just this moment, this liminal sense, and especially Legba, I think you literally see this, where it's like you are looking into the surface of a lake. Like inward, outward eye is
it's
not
the abyss.
No. Though I had thought about that.
You know the movie?
Also that. But no, I was thinking of the abyss, and I was like, I had considered the idea of like, what if it's an abyssal emanation realm, and that's why nobody comes back? I was like, no, I think that would just be like something would be wrong with the Tempest story.
We're PCs, we're coming back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It'd be tough to not get a little bit of a left-handed brand if somebody found that out.
Yep.
We'll gate crash in the abyss.
Gate crashing.
I brought back beers.
But yes, for Legba, you have an unusual sensation in the fact that like your inward outward eye does not want to go through this.
It doesn't have that rider read takes that reach effect in the attainment.
Oh, so you normally don't do that anyways.
No, normally cannot perceive through.
Okay, cool, yeah. So that never mind then.
No, but I mean, like there might be some intuitive aspect of it. He's active on mage side. You know, he might try and cast to see through to make sure that we're not experiencing some danger, right? Like Petrichor knows things about it, but why not look through? So it would seem reasonable that he's able to do it. I'm just reminding you that.
Oh yeah. But no, it
that
is.
He wouldn't be able to.
Because of inward outward eye, you do see there is a sphere, and it is this perfect sphere.
Love a good orb.
Yep.
And
I'm gonna say
ponder.
Yep.
There we go.
And like you have that moment of like it's getting closer. Somewhere Jules is like, there is this idea of called a black hole. And you guys cross that event horizon. And
right nearby there's a palanquin, just kind of, resting in space, right?
Hang on, I don't get that reference.
Right, the last episode of Rising Helix.
Oh yes, okay.
The glimpse of the black hole.
Palanquin, yep.
True.
And the other dog. We love our dogs here. Anyways,
true.
You drop through, and there's no, it doesn't feel like you splash through icy cold water. Really invigorating in all the worst ways, and come out into a thunderstorm. It lays out in all directions. Notably, as soon as you cross through, you can see one another. You're close enough. There is not a way back. There is not an other gateway. You are here in a storm. Looking down, you see storm. Looking up, you see storm. There's definitely no ground to be seen, and more of these beings, and it is a multitude of them in the kind of way that you have like birds in flocks, or what is the big ones? The effect is murmuration. With them moving and shifting and of what you can assume are like rank 0 supernal beings of forces moving about. You have some grander, larger ones akin to whales moving through in this kind of like, kind of an ocean depth thing. And then you watch others like it's very primal, I think is the term to use, right? It is very animalistic in their engagement of things. It is raw, kind of base, air quote,
gross
beings. Gross, also true. There is not a lot of esoteric and subtle aspects to this. This is forces in all its kind of natural sense, including as you guys are flying through the storm. You've got lightning zapping through, though when you look up at the lightning, you see that the lightning is a supernal being, and like Petrichor's gun jiggles. Let me out! This is where I'm meant to be!
How could you do this?
It wouldn't last a second.
Not even. You
wouldn't even bother you, just sort of swallow you as they drift by. It wouldn't
like not even. You're flying, just kind of continuing to stay aloft and looking, trying to get a sense of where you are. Looking down, you see a tornado of fire wrecking clouds and just carving this beautiful like pathway beneath you. You can kind of get some little updraft from the heat, and through that gap in the clouds you can see there is what appears to be ocean
and exit.
Oh, we're not even talking exit. We're just out of the clouds. There might be a place where it is raining down to water.
So there is an up or a down that we're aware of?
Correct. You can definitely feel sensations of gravity. Yep. But this is a place where forces, I wouldn't say it's only forces, but this is an emanation realm of forces.
Every entity here is forces / something else.
Right. There doesn't appear, and like Helena especially being, traditionally trained. Oh yeah, emanation realms tied to a path. Nah. This is just forces.
Strange. Yes,
also true. And seeing the fact that there's no ground, you're like, yeah, I bet some, dummy-dums who decided, I'm just going to leap in here and, see what happens or go. It's like, nope, there's no kindly supernal beings welcoming you and showing you to palaces of, hermetic, magic or anything like that. There's no ground to land on. And you definitely feel like, hop out of here. You probably have, good 3 turns to manage to cast a flying spell if you happen to notice that you are headed towards a really rough landing. Yeah.
Flying spell? Blink step.
Yeah. Do it again. Yeah. And as you all fall, fortunately you have telepathy, so communication is a little bit easier than shouting over the wind. That's where we end it. And specifically, somewhere within here is something, because of the nature of what Petrichor has been asking, is where forces intersects with time, and some kind of being here that will help figure out what has happened with
potential to help figure out what has happened to Jeremiah.
Yep.
Group trial.
I am interested to see.
Yes.
What's in this?
Welcome to the trial.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. Sounds good.
Without giving away something, but yes.
Fair enough. Find the being. Negotiate.
You've earned it. Yep.
Cool. Right. Excellent. That makes sense.
But the one thing I will mention, that fluent high speech y'all got, probably ain't gonna help you much.
All right.
Yeah, everything here, I won't say wants to kill you, but it's raw forces. It is
wants to kill you. Oh, time for intimidation and getting teleported.
No, but like the flame doesn't want to kill them off.
Correct.
It's just in its nature.
Yeah. And the flame
actually
also
the moth's fault.
Yeah,
the moth should not have been there.
The
moth gets confused. That's what happens.
Thinks it's the moon.
Ends up. Well, it's not. It's the moon. It's the light results in them having trouble with their navigation of the moon. So
that's fair.
Usually, their perception of up and down gets changed when they're near a source of light that isn't so diffuse and pointed like the moon. So before, we thought that was the case. Relatively recent research demonstrated rather clearly that it isn't, that they think it's the moon.
That makes me feel so much better. I was like, I feel like I remember learning that.
Even entomologists
that moment is brought to you by Ralph the entomologist.
Yep. So relatively recent research demonstrated that it isn't that. It's that their direction, since their ability to orient gets confused as a consequence of the light going in a bunch of different directions and being way too intense than the moon being above them. So they go up to light, and all of a sudden the moon is down. So what do you do if the moon's down?
You turn over.
You turn around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Flip around. Yeah, and you fall, and so they twist around. So they just
More moths.
so challenging. Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, nothing is necessarily trying to kill you or wanting to kill you. It's just there are many a thing when that big supernal being of lightning comes by.
Let's do it.
Sorry. So
let's do it.
Yep.
That supernal being is going to be in 2 pieces. No, I'm not going to be violent.
Yep.
Cool. Well, I look forward to it.
It's going to be good.
I'm excited.
As always, folks, if you want to support us, you can swing by staylucky.club. Go to our Patreon, get your name read off on episodes. Like
greened off, too. Or blued.
Yeah, that too.
Purple.
Or stumbled over. Come be like Nick, who joined our Patreon literally about 15 minutes before we started recording. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you.
If you want to chat with us, that's www.yeetinto.space. Come join the Discord, come hang out with us, chat with us, see pictures of my new kittens that I have.
The tiny babies.
They're adorable little babies.
Very small.
Yes, they are 2 weeks old as of this recording.
Oh my gosh.
And share pics of your adorable animals. Come see Bren and Morgaine, the dog out to try and knock Bren down the stairs. I don't think Morgaine would actually do that. Or Joey, the dog.
The dog.
The platonic form of dog.
Dog.
Or, we can talk about RPGs too. We can do that. Either way, thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.
Adios.